The $20,000 number that changes your financial life. Ever checked your bank account and, instead of panicking, actually felt good? Like when you're not stressing about affording that latte or if ramen is your only dinner option. There's a specific money number that changes everything, and it's not what you think. Forget what the gurus say about needing $1 million or hitting 6 figures to be rich. Here's the piece they're missing. There's a way smaller financial win that completely flips your money game, and reaching it changes it all. That number is $20,000. I'm Nick, and I dive deep into money, the psychology of wealth, and why some people just seem to nail building it, while others stay stuck in the same money traps for ages. If you're ready to understand how wealth actually grows, not just wish for it, hit that subscribe button and smash that like button if this helps you see money in a new light. But before we get into why $20,000 is the real game changer, let me ask you this. What does building wealth bring to mind? Maybe a trust fund kid who never had to stress about bills, or someone grinding hard for years, slowly stacking up dollars. Truth is, building wealth isn't what most people picture. Here's how it really works. There are these hidden financial walls that block you. Cross them and the whole game changes. $20,000 is the first major hurdle that separates those who build serious wealth from those stuck living paycheck to paycheck forever. And the wild part? Most people don't even know this barrier exists. Think of it this way. Ever tried pushing a huge rock uphill? Getting it moving is the absolute hardest part. You're struggling, sweating, barely budging it, wondering if it's even possible. But once you get enough speed, something amazing happens. The rock picks up pace, and when it reaches the top, it practically rolls itself downhill. $20,000 is that peak moment when your financial rock finally crests the hill. Everything before feels like fighting gravity. Everything after feels like gravity is on your side. But here's where it gets really cool, and it might shock you. It's not just about the numbers. It's not just having more money to invest or seeing bigger dollar gains. The real magic happens in your brain. When you have zero savings, your mind goes into what experts call survival mode. Every money decision is driven by fear and a feeling of not enough. You grab the first job offer you get, even if it's awful, because you can't afford to be picky. You stick with bad situations, because leaving feels too risky. You say yes to things you hate, because you need the cash. This isn't just being smart with money. In survival mode, your brain literally shuts down anything related to growth or new chances. It's like trying to plan a vacation. When your house is on fire, your mental energy is totally maxed out, dealing with immediate danger and just getting by. But something incredible happens. When you hit that $20,000 mark, suddenly your brain has room to think differently. Instead of, how do I survive till payday? You start asking, how can I grow this money? Instead of reacting to every money crisis, you start building wealth strategically. Studies show that even $2,000 in emergency savings boosts your financial well-being by 21%. $2,000. That's less than some people spend on a trip or a new laptop. But that small safety net creates a huge mental shift, pulling you out of pure survival mode. When you build that emergency fund to cover 3 to 6 months of expenses, around $20,000 for most, you get another 13% jump in financial well-being. More importantly, you've created the space for your brain to focus on building wealth, not just protecting what you have. Now, the math gets really exciting. If you save and invest consistently, earning an 8% return, reaching your first $20,000 takes about 19 months. That's a year and a half of discipline and sacrifice. It's tough and most people quit. But here's the mind blower. Your next $20,000 won't take another 19 months. It'll take about 17 months. Why? Because your first $20,000 is now working with your monthly savings to earn its own returns. Think about it. Same effort, same savings, same risk, but you chop 2 months off just by having more money working for you. That's compound interest kicking in. By the time you're aiming for your third $20,000, it gets even faster. Your money is doing more of the heavy lifting. And once you hit $400,000, you can earn your next $20,000 in just 5 months. What took you nearly 2 years initially is now happening automatically. That first goal feels impossible, but everyone after gets easier. You might think wealthy people have access to secret investment clubs that ordinary folks can't join, like exclusive funds or special deals only for the rich. While that's true at the very top, it's not why the $20,000 mark matters so much. The real secret is much simpler and way more hopeful. Is basic math working in your favor. Invest $1,000, get 10% growth in a year, you make $100. Take that. Your portfolio growth goes wild past $400,000. Making your next $20,000 takes just 5 months. What took 2 years to save now comes from investments. That first big goal feels impossible. But the next ones get easier. You might think rich people have secret investment access. Things regular folks can't get into, like private funds or special deals only for the super rich, that only open up at certain wealth levels. While that's partly true for the ultra-wealthy, it's not the reason for this. This $20,000 magic isn't about secret clubs. The real secret is way simpler and more encouraging. It's just math. Invest $1,000, it grows 10% in a year, you make $100. Same 10% growth rate on $10,000? That's $1,000 profit. Same investment, same time, same risk. That's why hitting $20,000 feels huge. Before that, your returns feel tiny. A 10% return on $2,000 is just $200. Nice but not life-changing. But 10% on $20,000? That's $2,000. Now we're talking real money. With $20,000 invested at 8% annually, you get $1,600 a year without lifting a finger. Money you didn't have to earn at your job. Money that just appeared. The strategy is the same no matter how much you have. Same index funds, same brokers, same basics. It's all about scale. And scale turns small wins into big progress. Small percentage gains turn into big financial wins. But here's what most people miss. This might be the most crucial point. Seriously, listen up. When you save $20,000, you've done more than just stash cash. You've actually rebuilt your brain. You've built your most important money habit. Might sound cheesy, but stick with me. This is where it gets real. Think about what it takes to save $20,000 from scratch. Unless you're a millionaire or living rent-free, this takes serious grit. You tracked every single dollar. Said no to stuff you wanted to save instead. You fought the urge to splurge on every shiny new thing. Most importantly, you did it consistently. For months, years. And guess what? You proved you control your money. You became the kind of person who delays gratification. That's not just a money skill, that's a life skill. This identity change is huge. It impacts everything. Before $20,000, that $4 coffee? Big decision. After $20,000, you're not sweating the small stuff. You know your priorities. You proved you can make big sacrifices. But there's another psychological shift. You start seeing opportunities, not just problems. Living paycheck to paycheck? Every unexpected bill is a crisis. Car repair. Laptop dies? Rent hike? These aren't chances. They're financial emergencies. But with $20,000 saved, these are just minor annoyances. Car trouble? Annoying but not a disaster. Laptop broke? Time for an upgrade. Rent went up? Maybe time to find a better place. Or negotiate that salary. Even better, you spot opportunities you missed before. Friends starting a business needs investors? Before, cool, and move on. Now, could be worth it. Killer deal on a fixer-upper rental? Before, nice Zillow scroll, wish I had that. Now, let's run the numbers. Boss mentions a conference, company won't pay? Before, can't afford it. Now you weigh the ROI. This is what rich people mean by money makes money. It's not magic. It's having options. Options create more opportunities. Here's another $20,000 mind bender. You care less about small expenses, more about big ones. Sounds wild, but hear me out. Broke? You obsess over every penny. Name brand cereal or generic. $3 coffee or make it at home. These drain your brain power. Every dollar counts. Solid foundation? Those tiny choices? Mostly irrelevant. That $3 coffee? Maybe $1,000 a year. Not a deal breaker. What matters are the big choices. Where you live, what you drive, how much you save, where you invest. These can change your net worth by tens of thousands. So, forget the organic bananas. Focus on housing, income, and your investment strategy. This shift is liberating. Frees up your brain. You stop sweating the small stuff. Start building wealth. Now, your career after hitting $20,000. This is where it gets wild. $20,000 doesn't just change your money mindset. It changes your work mindset. Living paycheck to paycheck? You're trapped. Bad boss, toxic colleagues, boring work? You can't leave. You need that paycheck. This puts you in a weak negotiation spot. Can't ask for a raise for fear of being fired. Can't push back on demands. You need the job. Can't explore other jobs. Interviews are too risky. You're stuck. Everyone knows it. But $20,000 flips the script. You suddenly have walking away money. You could quit today and survive for months. Not saying be reckless, but you're negotiating from strength. Not desperation. This psychological boost changes everything. You'll ask for that raise. The worst they say is no, and you'll be fine. You'll push back on demands. You're not afraid. You'll say no to bad demands without fear. Having savings lets you take risks. The wild part? You often don't even need that escape fund. Just having it changes how you act at work. You'll feel more confident, more bold, ready to tackle tough projects. And when you show up differently, guess what happens? People notice. Boom! Suddenly, better projects land in your lap. More praise and yep, more cash. It's like a secret weapon. You hope you never need, but just knowing it's there shifts how you do things. And the best part? The more self-assured and successful you get at work, the faster your wealth grows, giving you even more choices and confidence. It's a win-win cycle that speeds up. This positive feedback loop just keeps growing. But here's where most people screw it up, and I see it all the time. They hit $20,000, feel that mental boost, then blow it on something dumb. Maybe they think they deserve a new car after being so good, or take a pricey trip because they earned it, or use it as a down payment on a house they can't truly afford. Don't do that. That $20,000 isn't a reward. It's the bedrock of your financial future. It's the seed for lasting wealth. If you let it grow patiently. Instead, and this might make you laugh or cry, depending on where you are now, the average person spends more on their car in a lifetime than it costs to be totally financially free. Let that sink in. Between payments, insurance, upkeep, and gas, most people shell out $600 to $800 monthly just for transportation. Over 40 years, that's easily $400,000 plus, just to get around. Meanwhile, they're complaining. They can't save for retirement. It's like watching someone splurge on a gym membership they don't use, while moaning about not affording healthy food. Here's the kicker that makes this even crazier. The moment you drive a new car off the lot, it drops 20% in value. So you're not just spending cash, you're actively losing money. Compare that to investing the same cash in a diverse portfolio. Instead of watching your money vanish, you watch it grow. But I get it. Cars are emotional buys. You want reliability, style, something that screams success. And that's okay, as long as you know what you're giving up. That car payment might feel rich, but it's actually keeping you broke. This is where having $20,000 saved totally flips your view on big buys. Instead of, can I afford the monthly cost? You ask, what's this truly costing me in lost chances? That $30,000 car isn't just $30,000. It's $30,000 that could hit $200,000 plus in investments over 20 years. Suddenly, A reliable used car doesn't feel like a sacrifice. It feels like a smart move funding your future freedom. And here's the funny part. The flashy car driver is likely stressing about cash, while the older Honda driver is quietly building wealth and sleeping soundly. This new way of thinking impacts all big money moves. Homes, degrees, trips, hobbies. Everything is viewed through opportunity cost. Not in a way that ruins life, but smartly ensuring you're choosing where your money goes. And here's something that might surprise you. Once you start thinking like this, you often realize you don't even want half the stuff you thought you did. That bigger apartment? More space is nice, but worth delaying your financial freedom by 5 years? That pricey hobby? It's fun, but there are cheaper thrills. This isn't about being a stingy hermit. It's about being deliberate with your cash, instead of letting it disappear on things that don't matter. Hey, when you have clear money goals and grasp compound interest, it's way easier to tell what you want from what you truly want. Look, $20,000 won't make you rich overnight, but it will totally change how you see money and chances. It's the difference between surviving and crushing it, between reacting and creating your life. Start building that base now. Your future self is counting on today's choices. Trust me, they'll be grateful.